lost my body and I'd become a little blue star. At the time, this seemed like a very normal thing for me to have happen. I had an idea of myself going, wow, I don't have a body anymore. I'm free of my body.
If you can imagine on Star Trek when they go into warp speed, how you see all the lights kind of go, whew, well, that's how it felt. And now I'm going, at what felt like, I don't know, a zillion miles an hour.
Toda cultura tem sua própria ideia do outro mundo. Mas onde obtemos nosso conhecimento de mundos além da vida?
There's been an effort for at least a century to examine the afterlife and visitations with the dead and spiritual communication. People don't want to die. They're crushed when their loved ones die. What can they do? Can they transcend death?
Oh, I think life after death, God, the spirit world, something that's beyond the physical here and now, that's the ultimate mystery that fascinates people and cannot be tested ultimately by science, and short of going there. But you can't come back to report what happened.
Ou podemos. A medicina atual pode trazer as pessoas de volta 10, 20, até 30 minutos depois que o coração ou os pulmões pararam de funcionar. Aqueles que voltam partilham relatos semelhantes.
Very commonly, people have what's called an out-of-body experience. In other words, they see their consciousness apart from their body. Very often following that, they'll have a tunnel experience. At the end of that tunnel, they'll generally encounter beings of light. These beings may be deceased relatives or friends or perhaps religious figures. Very often at this time, they'll have a life review. 15% of people have what we call frightening near-death experiences.
There were people being tortured and volcanoes erupting and brown sludge and screaming and people, just their heads on pikes and everything you can imagine of in the classic idea of a hell. If it was true that it was just the body's physiological response to death, I would think that everyone would have an identical experience, but I didn't.
Os indivíduos testados leram etiquetas em ventiladores de teto, relataram conversas em outros aposentos e trouxeram até informações tangíveis do além.
Occasionally during near-death experience accounts, people encounter someone that identifies themselves as a relative that they had during their life. And they may say, I don't remember, I never had a brother, I never had a sister. And yet, they come to find out that this was a brother or a sister who died perhaps very, very early in their life. Certainly evidential that something's going on up there.
Se as pessoas voltaram do além, que mensagens trouxeram?
What I experienced was a huge downloading of information. Before I could ask, am I dying? I heard, we don't die. The body dies. The spirit, the soul never dies.
Probably the greatest mystery that confronts humanity is what happens after we die. Millions of people have had experiences like this. This is very common. The message they bring back, very consistent. There is an afterlife, and it's wonderful.
Enquanto houver pessoas, haverá visões de fantasmas.
In the records of ancient civilizations, there is talk of spirits of people after they have died, whether they've gone to an afterlife or are stuck around here. So this is a very ancient thing because it's part of human experience.
Se ver é acreditar, então as fotografias oferecem a maior prova da existência de fantasmas.
One of the things when we look at ghost photographs from the middle to late 19th century, they were almost invariably deliberate forgeries. Most of the ghost photographs that are made today are created by accident. The flash can go off outdoors and capture water droplets in the air, or often the camera's own strap.
E quanto aos casos em que mais de uma pessoa relata ter visto o mesmo fantasma? No USS Hornet, 3 pessoas dizem ter visto o espírito do contra-almirante J.J. Clark.
I do pick up somebody that is working was a desk or cabinet or something. Immediately when I came on the ship, I had encountered the spirit of Admiral J.J. Clark. He was a rear admiral that served on the ship between 1944 and 45.
When I saw the spirit go down the ladder below me, I saw him with both eyes, and I was looking straight at him. It wasn't just a glimpse.
I saw someone, a man. His arms were to the side, just standing up straight. When I saw a picture of the Admiral, it was the same features. He's the same man I saw.
Bingo! Bingo!
Mas por que os espíritos voltariam do mundo dos mortos?
It makes perfect sense that ghosts are seen where people are. And it makes perfect sense that you typically find an association with the location. It essentially boils down to the fact that ghosts are people too. They're dead people, but they're still people.
Gente que pode nos ensinar alguma coisa.
And down in that corridor, I've picked up somebody else. Having the ability to see the souls that have passed on has given me a wonderful knowledge and understanding of the life and death process, which really we think of life as a process, but we don't really include death in it. Death is a part of life. That's a part of the process of life.